Hey everybody, and welcome back to the 1902 Farmhouse project. Sheetrockers have been in here and left. Let's go in here and see what they did and where we go from here. And it's dirty. So walk into the kitchen slash dining room. I think we're gonna whitewash this brick and get it a lighter color. It's going to be kind of off-white in here, I believe, with some dark blue cabinets. They did a really good job for what little time he worked. It would have took me months to do what he did in like 4 or 5 days. One guy. So the living room, hall. Got to put my lights back. I'm probably going to take those down pretty soon, do some painting. And the spare bedroom. That's a $30, $65 sheet of plywood. I get $20 for. Wish I bought 100,000 sheets of them. Another hallway. A lot of butt joints in here, and of course with a 10-foot ceiling we had a factory joint and a factory butt there. All factory joints on the ceilings here and here, so it's made it a lot easier to do. Now I did have to come back and fix a few places that when they installed the HVAC. It's in the last video, part 23. If you hadn't seen it, you'll see part of this with me. That wasn't one of them, but some of them I had to patch. This wasn't one of them. All right, so in here, the main bathroom, we're gonna have a 4x4 shower. Still got to get this old linoleum up, get some plywood down there, and get it ready to start framing up. Got the frames up, got the niche framed, everything's in except for the water. So we got the vent. The vent will take care of the shower here. There'll be a tub here. So, of course, the sink and the toilet is going to be here in this corner. And then the linen closet. And then the wife's closet slash laundry room. And this is one of them I had to patch, and this room I already had finished as much as I was going to finish, but I ended up having to come in and patch those, and that guy did a good job of finishing it. Where I left up here in this hallway was another one, and it looks good. And I'm going to come in here now, and this one especially has got a lot of big cracks in there. I've got to try to straighten up and then seal. This one had to do the same thing here, and it looks really good. See a little spot right there that might be a little, like a little divot. So, got some trash got to get out of here. This one room I've never wired the light up to it. I've got the wires there, I just never have hooked them up to try. This is going to be my office. It'd be a nice closet. Too small for a bedroom. Probably bigger than a standard bath though. I'm sure that's, I can't remember what the dimensions are. I'll put them in the edit when I edit. So I don't have a whole lot of outlets in here. I've got these two here. That's going to be for the computer. Computer will sit there in the desk, and that's it. Now I could add another outlet on this wall if I wanted it. Be pretty easy to run a wire from under the house in there. I actually used to have one, and this one over here had one, but it wouldn't connect to anything, so I figured it wasn't really nothing no reason to put one on this wall. It's got a lot of wood. If I wanted to add a third one in here, I could always add it there. Got a lot of dust. Got some old adhesive from the tape. So now, alright, so they come in and they've finished your drywall. So now what's the next step? Well, you run down to the hardware store or the big box store, and you want to grab some primer, because you know this has got to be primered prior to painting. All it's got to be primered. Well, there is a vast amount of different primers available. Some are just for drywall, and those are fine if that's all you plan on doing is priming drywall, and you're gonna have a flat or a low luster paint. You can use those, spray it on there, boom, you're good. And they're relatively cheap. I think it's $45 for 5 gallons. The next step up would be a all-purpose or multi-surface primer. That's going to run you anywhere from $60 on up. I looked at the Kilts 2, and between the Kilts 2 and the Valspar multi-surface, I really couldn't tell that there's a big difference. And there's about, I want to say $10 for 5 gallon difference, so there ain't much difference in price either. But I decided to go, I've never used this. Hang on. I've never used this particular primer. I've got some Kilts 2 back there in the back. I probably will use it first. Although I may say that because that is an interior and exterior primer. This is only an interior primer. But this is ideal for wood, drywall, and masonry. So be careful what you get, because some of it is just for drywall, and then some of it is for everything, like an all-purpose primer. You're gonna have latex, you're gonna have oil-based. You really probably want to go with latex. It's gonna be a lot easier to clean up, a lot easier to spray if you're spraying. Since I've got 10-foot ceilings, I bought this extension for my spray gun. I got a Graco spray gun. It will sit over that 5 gallon bucket. I've used it to paint a fence. And I think I used it to paint my deck a little bit, but I didn't really like it on my deck. So that is, we got the primer. We're about ready to go now. We've got to go in here and we got to vacuum as much dust. So you can see they swept. They did a good job of sweeping. You know, for what it was terrible. But I need to vacuum all the windows, sills, and anywhere there's loose dust. I've never been one to really dust the sheetrock before I paint it. I've got a little old dust broom here. I might just run down these bigger beads and just knock it down a little bit. But most of the time that dust will mix with the paint and you'll never know it. But I don't like to, I wouldn't want to leave a bunch of, there ain't much in here. This stuff here had to be like trimmed off, broke off. But you know, if you got a big pile of dust sitting here, you wouldn't want to leave that. So vacuum that up with a shop vac. You'll have to empty your, you know, like this right here. There's a lot of dust right there. That stuff will get airborne, and then it'll get on the outside of your paint. And then once we do that, since we're going to spray, we got to mask off everything that we don't want paint on. I'm just sitting here breaking this off. I got to get these staples out where I had this thing stapled up. So anywhere you don't want paint, like this little outlet, these outlets here, I'm just going to take a little piece of paper. These wires here are not connect to power, so I'll just take up a little piece of paper and stick it over that. On these, I'll do the best I can, stick some paper in there, tape over the switches. On the light fixtures, I'll probably take those out for, you know, until I get it painted. And of course, I'll try not to paint too close to the duct, But we'll have to back roll, probably do some back rolling anyway, so if I paint a little close, it's not a big deal. I'll probably spread it out some. And then of course anything like this, you just take and tape over it. This all will be covered up with a bezel, so you can actually tape your plastic or tape some tape and just tape right over that. So that's going to be the next step, is taping, masking. I'm going to get all this this off the windows because I got some more better plastic. It's going to be a lot easier to tape than this heavy plastic. That's garbage bags, but this is pretty heavy 6 mil plastic there. So that stuff, and then we'll vacuum where we can vacuum, and so a lot of chunks here we're going to have to scrape up, kind of clean this floor up, because you got, you know, when we get ready to put a floor down on top of this, it's got to be clean. So that's where we're at.